Hey there, killer awesome truckers. It's time for another walk and talk. So, based on the title of the video, yes, things with Swift have finally ended. I tried to stick it out as long as I could, and it just was no longer viable anymore. I had problems trying to get my medical card renewed through them. I did get my medical card renewed, just not through Swift. But the first time I tried to get it renewed, everything was fine. And then they looked at my ankles, saw that they were swollen, and started thinking, oh, you must have heart problems or something, and wanted me to go get like 2 different EKGs, which would have costed me $1,000 with the doctor visit, follow-up, and stuff like that. And one, I don't have the money for that, and two, I'd be working for free for Swift just to have the pleasure of driving for them. And I wouldn't make $1,000 in 1 year. Now, and that's all because I was wearing shorts that day, and they saw my ankles. If I had not been wearing shorts, they would have passed me. But it wouldn't have mattered, and I'll get to that here in a moment. So weeks later, the swelling and my legs went down. So I decided, well, you know what? Let me just go ahead and start over. So I started over. I went to a place that was about 3 miles away from where I live, and passed, no problems, no issues. I submitted it to DOT. They accepted it. I was able to get my CDL activated, reactivated. All's good. But not according to Swift. Then I find out that in order to keep my status on the... Why does everyone have to make noise? It's like, out of all the days, in order to keep my status on the casual fleet, I would have had to do a load, a complete load, not a T-call, but an actual load that gets delivered or emptied by the 27th of December. Which means, so I gotta work over Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, because those are the days that I have off. And I said, well, is there round trip? Nope, there's no round trip. So I didn't think about it much. But I got set up with one of their other locations, and I went there, and then they said, well, your sleep compliance form is not up to date. I have a year compliance form, which is 100%. And because it was 2 months off, that was just not good enough for them, even though it's 100%. Obviously, it's going to be 100% during those 2 weeks, but no, that wasn't good enough. But then they wanted a letter from my doctor in regards to my medication and that I was fit to drive, which I've never been asked for that before. The first place didn't ask for it. The second place didn't ask for it. But the third place is like, which I would have gone and done. Then I thought about what the fleet manager had told me, and I'm like, wait a minute. So what does this no round trip mean? Because he said Swift has got all kinds of freight, but they don't have anything round trip. And I said, so what does that mean? That I'll be sent out of state and I'll have to wait for a load back? Yeah, well, essentially. Well, that's not going to work. I'm like the lead, not official lead, but they're considering me a lead because I'm the full-time, daytime security dispatcher at my current job. I can't just mosey on out of state and not have a way back. Yeah, I make more money in one day than I did in like 2 to 3 days in that little stint that I did at Albuquerque. And I said, yeah, that's not going to work. I said, what about something local? No, we have a local dedicated route for that, or, division for that. I'm like, and that's where I asked about T-calling it, to go in and picking it up and taking it back to the terminal. No, that they're not good with that either. So, as of this recording, my tour with Swift ended yesterday. It was just no longer viable anymore. And the crazy thing is that even if I had went through all that trouble just to get the medical card renewed through one of their people in their network, it wouldn't have mattered. I still wouldn't have been able to do it. To spend $1,000 to go get these tests, it wouldn't have mattered. So I'm a little irritated because what I was told, and I shouldn't be surprised, it's trucking, okay? It's not just Swift, it's just trucking. They either don't tell you the whole truth or they just don't tell you the truth. They tell you what you want to hear, which I was afraid of when I was told about the casual fleet and, oh yeah, you can drive as much or as little as you want to. I wanted to believe. That didn't quite work out. And with the casual fleet, and then I'm finding this out too throughout this whole year, is that the casual drivers don't have priority on the loads. All of their, full-time OTR or whatever is going to have priority. So here again, I'm going to accept the load, who knows where, and then I might be stuck out there until they have one available to give me. How does that work? I don't see how that works. And let's be honest, the last 6 months when I was OTR was pretty much a casual fleet. I was trying to run. I was trying to get something consistent. I moved to different locations. Not moved, but got my truck to an area to try to hang on a second. Okay, so what I was saying was, so you're on a casual fleet, you take a load, you go out of state, and then what? Do you have to go to a terminal, turn the truck in, and wait until you get another? So, maybe not. They may just let you stay in the truck. I really don't know. it really was not explained to me very well to start off with, almost as if they were making it up as they went along, which I'm sure is not the case. Let's be honest, communication in trucking is not really good. So, yeah, everything is now over with Swift. So, that being said, let me give you my review of Swift. They're not a bad company. They're not the greatest. It's a mega carrier. What do you expect? But they're not a bad company. If you're looking for a place to start, you could do worse, okay? If you're just looking for something where you can kind of like settle in and have benefits and not be pressured to drive when you shouldn't be driving, because with the accidents that Swift has, believe it or not, they tell the drivers, if it's bad, don't drive, park it. If you think something isn't safe, you tell them. You send a Mac 22 that you're going to be late, and why. There are some companies out there where they don't care. They'll just fire you and strand you, 1,000, 2,000 miles away from your home. They don't care. You're late. They don't care why. Saw a video of one driver. He was late a couple of times. One time he was only 10 miles away from a drop-off delivery in Chicago, and he was stuck in traffic for an hour. Swift is not like that. At least in my experience, they weren't. So if money is not really an issue, you just kind of want a place where you can settle in, make some income. Let's say you don't have a place to live, all right, so you want to go into OTR, so you've got the truck and stuff. Swift is not a bad company. You've got 4 different types of trucks you can choose from. They're bringing in Peterbilts. Supposedly they're bringing in APUs now. That'll last until they all start to break again. But like I said, you could do worse. All right, you could do worse. So with that in mind, Swift is not a bad company. So considering that I was thinking about going with rail transport to start off with, and now all the things I read about them, I'm so glad I didn't go. They are really bad, apparently. And with all the things that I've read about these other mega carriers, Swift is not that bad, really. Now, your experience might differ from mine. Keep in mind, you're still going to have problems with planners and dispatchers. In some cases, your driver leader. My first driver leader was not that great. We did not get along. That's already been talked about in the Killer Awesome Trucking series, so I don't want to go over that again. But anyway, that's pretty much it. So what am I going to be doing now? Well, I'm going to be sticking with my current company because I have built a good reputation, trust. It's a great company. There's a lot of great people in the company. I get paid well. I'm not far from home. So, and considering all the stupidity and danger that's out there on the road, I'm doing well. What can I say? Now, with that in mind, I am going to be working on my endorsements. So I'm going to be working on my tanker, combo, doubles, triples, hazmat, and my TWIC card. So I'm going to be working on all those for 2025. Because we may have to move in another year. And I want to have all that stuff done, ready, prepared for, because I might be going back into full-time trucking. The other thing, I am looking at the possibility of picking up some part-time work in trucking. So whether it's a local driving job or something that I can do in the afternoons or, you know, on my days off. So, I mean, now that I've got Swift off my shoulders, and I know I could have quit at any time, so it's not like it's a burden, but like I said, Swift is not a bad company. I wanted to stick it out as long as I could. It just wasn't working out. So, you know, maybe sometime in the future things will change. But chances are I'll be looking at some other opportunities beyond Swift. But you never know. I wasn't sure that I would ever get into truck driving anyway, with the exception of, you know, Truck Simulator. So yeah, just looking at some part-time opportunities, and we'll see what happens with that. So what does that mean for Trucker Tuesday? Not the channel in general. You folks know I do a lot of stuff on the channel. It's not just trucking. It hasn't been much of trucking lately. But Trucker Tuesday will continue. I still have plenty of footage to share with you of when I was OTR that I haven't used yet. So I can go back, we can have, like, I don't know, a fireside chat. You know, so I still got plenty of stuff that I can share with you. We can do news, stuff that's not being covered by Mother Trucker, or things that I do, like he may have gone over, but I want to talk about. If I do find some part-time trucking, there is doing some videos about that. My progress in regards to working on my endorsements. So there's plenty to still talk about. Something else that I wanted to add, even though I did not make a lot of money with Swift this year on the casual fleet, I did get that opportunity of that round trip to Albuquerque in a brand new Freightliner. That was cool. Other than the check engine light going on for, you know, whatever reason. But hey, if my last memory with Swift out on the road was a brand new Freightliner, gray, that for that matter, hey, I'm okay with that. So Swift, thank you. Thank you for that. That was kind of nice, driving a brand new truck. But yeah, that's all I've got for now. So 2025 is going to be a fresh new year. Fresh new year of opportunities, so we'll see what happens. Definitely working on a lot of stuff for the channel, so I hope you'll stick around. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a killer, awesome day. And an awesome Christmas.